Yo, yo, my sovereigns, what up? This is Boba Fett, uncensored on the internet, with episode 40 of Splinterlands 101. Joining me again on the show, finest gentleman who ever lived, Matt Clark.
Howdy, howdy.
Here's Matt Clark. He's one of the finest gentlemen that ever lived.
Geo of the Geotrix, Geotrix.
Hey guys, hello guys. And
Hey,
girls.
hey. 40, huh? The big 40.
Really?
Yeah, the number that used to scare the shit out of me in my 30s until it arrived. It's like, actually, it's bit of a game changer for me, 40. Up to that point, because after getting out of the Navy, I just, I want to do something totally different. Spent most of my life in sales, always on the edge, cutting edge of new stuff, mobile phones. In the early 90s, the big range masters with like 8 hours standby, 20 minutes talk time, then selling computers in like days of the 486, the 686, 2-speed CD-ROMs. Just in sales, I'm just always into like sales, just because what else can I do? And then 40 was like the big life changer, like, making good money, but working 60 plus hours a week, regularly more. What do I really want to do? I know, let's go to uni. Always been interested in archaeology. Let's become an archaeologist. It was like, that was the 40 sort of life review and new direction.
You're going to have a midlife crisis, though. That's a pretty good one, right? That's a pretty good, creative, constructive. That's not hookers and blow and Lambos. That's, I guess, maybe you just couldn't afford those things.
Well, I had a BMW Cabriolet at the time. That was so. Yeah, I was at UWA. Had the student. I remember first semester at UWA. First semesters you weren't allowed a car park, limited space. As soon as I got my car park, thought, oh, this would be pretty cool. Rock up in the Cabriolet. But then all the international students who are there on their daddy's money, rocking up in their late model Mercedes and Lexuses, and it was like, oh, okay, not like I thought. Yeah, but even like the show, episode 40, only seems like yesterday, Matt, when I messaged you on Discord, I was like, I'm thinking of doing a Splinterlands based like podcast. Would you be interested? And we started off, introduction, and then an episode on each of the splinters. I was like, that's what, 6 episodes or something, and we just kept going.
Oh, well, I think I got when you pitched it to me, I think I got the impression that it would be sort of half a dozen episodes, and I'm not sure when I agreed to just do it forever, but
well, we just didn't stop. It was like we did the 6 episodes, and I don't know. We didn't even really struggle for direction after that, and then we got a couple of guests, and so okay, let's roll with this, and here we are, 40 episodes on. So what's that? 40 weeks. That's nearly a year.
Yeah, I thought you were saying Geo's 40.
Yeah, I thought it was a birthday. I was like, is Matt 40? Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, something for you to look forward to, Geo, for your 40.
Oh, no.
You're getting close.
I'm thinking about my mortality now, Bob. Like, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. Yeah, anyway.
Hey, my focus finishes late afternoon now. Sort of how it creeps forward each day based on when you actually think, oh shit, better clear my chests. Still haven't made it back into gold yet, because start each season in silver 1 because I finished in gold 1. So 9 silver chests today, and I got a Countess Sinash.
Nice.
In my silver chests, yeah.
I gave Amanda one of those because she loves her Yerden Zaku. I was like, oh, she's only like silver. I was like, yeah, use this Countess Sinash because she's, with the blast and the opportunity, she's brutal.
So I've got 2 of her now. So I just need 1 more to level that one up. and
Awesome,
get sprint at the next level. So I think it's about
Swift, isn't it?
$3 a BCX or something. So
It's not too bad.
yeah, I might as well do that. I think it's like 350 or 320 or something like that per BCX.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so that's worth leveling up because I do use her.
It's a real solid choice.
Yeah, like when you've just got one, you just don't think about it. But you just get an extra one, and then you think, oh, okay, I might not have spent $7 to level up to the next level, but 350, yeah, makes that sort of.
And
really
that
big
doesn't go
difference.
away. I pulled a gold foil Queen Mycelia the other day, and I was like, I don't even have any regulars. Like I literally just pulled my first one was a gold.
So you maxed her out.
And well, then I was like, well, you're saying to leave her at 1 BCX. I think it's only like 4 to max her out. And then I looked at the price; it was like $80. Oh, gee.
Per BCX or to max?
No, per BCX it was $80 was the cheapest. And I thought, well, if I've already got one, that's gone down from $320 down to $240 already. So
It makes a difference.
It's a bit better.
One extra.
Yeah, it does. Then you're like, why not? But I'm definitely in the camp of I won't move on a card now unless I'm going to max it. Like I've learned that lesson over. Again, I get a card to go, max for gold, and then I'll move on, and maybe I'll come back to it, and then it's way too expensive. And you're like, oh, why didn't I max it when I had the chance? So now I'd rather have fewer cards that are at max level. That's my thing.
Absolutely.
Where is the line for that though, Matt? I mean, like we are talking before, like with the Riftwatchers. There's some cards there that I really like that I want to level. But looking back with Chaos, like the first 2 to 3 weeks, they are hyperinflated because people they've opened all their packs. They know which ones they want. And they're going to level it regardless. As long as they're prepared to do that, the prices are all jacked up. But once everyone's like leveled at where they want to be, then all the market players will start beating each other. $4 a BCX against $3.99 a BCX, and someone goes $3.90. When do you think that the place might be to start leveling? For people like myself, start leveling up our Riftwatchers.
I think in the middle of the pack run now's good for Chaos Legion. I mean, I'm talking about like I looked at my Enchanted Pixie the other day, and I was like, oh, maybe I can max her. She's only level 7. I don't know. Like Enchanted Pixie was way back beta, I think or So and then I looked at some of these reward cards that are 2.5, 3 years old, and a single BCX is just ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, as long as it's in print now. Yeah. Then by all means take your time. You don't need to get, and buy just if you say, oh, I need 20 BCX, I'm going to buy all 20 all at once and not let the price recover. By all means, just pick a few off every few days, and let the price sort of settle back down. But
dollar cost
make sure that any card that you want to move on, that you buy it before it runs out of print, reward cards or regular cards for sure.
Yeah, I actually quite. Talking the Enchanted Pixie, I like the new Pixie, the Bramble Pixie, or so I got a couple of those in my chest in gold foil. Let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, you got real lucky with those.
No, life isn't. Hang on, what is she?
It's Earth.
It is Earth.
Oh,
I got water. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
level 4. Very nice.
So I actually scored 2 goldies when I opened up my Riftwatchers. And that's a decent reach. 9 lives and 4 hitting for 4.
It's even more impressive when it gets heal.
That is nice.
Level 6.
There you go. 6.
Yeah. Reach.
Yeah, so by the time it does, your tank's gone. Good chance she's still. Well, she loses a life though at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he gets healed, loses a life.
That's why ideally for gold level, you want her at level 8.
Well, I've been doing the maths with a lot of them that are healing or self-healing, or you want them to be your tank. I make sure that my team has enough strength in there to get them up to that next level. Like if you can get them to say 12 health, then they're going to get healed for 4. But if they're only 11 health, they're only get healed for 3, right? So that's where, I mean, a weaken can really ruin your plan. But I like to make sure that I've actually, when I'm pulling together a team that I want to do, like I think, oh, let's do this as a regular team, that I'm making sure there's enough strength on there to get everybody that I want to get healed up to that next potential level. Because there's I think it's a Wave Brood team that he's got like 15 health or something up the back end, and one
He's
triage
got like
is
12 at level 1 or something.
Exactly, and so they get one triage on their team, and he's getting healed for 5 per round. And so if you're not putting out the damage, you're just not going to cut through him. But if it was only 14, that's a different story, right? Then he's only healing for 4 instead of 5, and so it can make a massive difference. Or if you throw some weaken in the mix.
Yeah. And close range too. So even just only hitting for 1, you wouldn't. He's on taunt, so he's not there for his hitting power. He's there for the staying power. Yeah.
The bait.
Yeah, that's right. He's just a meat wall.
Yeah.
And ideally level 4 for him.
For void. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if they can predict that you're going to go in hard with magic damage, which is often fairly predictable depending on the rule set, say if it's reverse speed or something like that, where you're like, oh, I don't want to miss with arrows, so I'll just go magic.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to chop through.
Absolutely.
So any
stack
thoughts?
triage.
Sorry, triage. That's something I don't have. Actually, in my Riftwatchers, I got my first triage card, I think, because most triage comes in at like diamond
Gold.
level, isn't it?
I think a lot of it comes in at gold, but yeah, there are also they come in at diamond, not to a max.
And that's why your Queen Mycelia, the gold foil, that's why you want it at max level, right? Like she has like shield, she has amplify and triage, and that's like really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to using her because I know when I get beaten, there's a really good chance that she's on the team that beat me. So you look at them over and over and
what pack's Queen Mycelia?
Chaos Legion.
She's Chaos Legion.
And she's Earth, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't have one. Okay.
It's a legendary.
Yeah. All right. So, what cards?
A little bit pricey. Even standard foil, but totally worth it. I think I picked up her. I don't remember the price, but it was below. It was around 10 or a little bit below 9. I think she went for like at one
25
point
bucks. I don't know. 13.50 of BCX at the moment.
$13. Wow.
Yeah. And so that how many gold do you need to max? I was thinking it's 4, but
11. Oh, for gold,
regular, but gold I think it's 4.
6 cards for gold, isn't it?
Yeah,
just
but
on the right, there's a little tab on the far right. You can change from regular to gold.
Oh, yes.
Gold foil.
Yeah, sorry, gold foil, not gold level. My bad. Yeah, 4. So it's only another 240 of her price holds to max her. But I mean, for 4 mana too, she's good in Little League.
Oh yeah, and look at the abilities.
75 bucks at BCX.
Down to 75. Well, there you go. That's easy enough. Then I might have to dive on that. I'll do it before this airs, just in case somebody comes along and snaps me lunch. I will admit I was late to the party on this one, but she's beaten me enough that I'm reluctantly being dragged along.
So how many do you need?
I've only got 1, so I need another 3.
Yeah. All right.
It's pretty amazing.
Okay. I went deep with Holazor. He loaned me 1 million dark energy crystals so I could go in deep on tower defense after I completely FOMOed into licenses at the end of tranche 1. So I've just paid him back yesterday. So now my income is my spending money again. So I'm going to save up my pennies for a bit. Yeah, it's pretty great. My rentals are holding solid. I'm at 12,000 dark energy crystals a day, which is normally my best. Like it towards the end of season, and it's still, we're 2 days into the new season and it's still holding solid. So That's a good thing too. If we can maintain that, then that's some decent spending money every few days. You know, dive in, grab something else.
Yeah, I'm getting about
Absolutely.
250 deck a day at the moment, but it's the beginning of the season. You know,
Yep.
that goes up as we get close to the season's end. So any
Yeah, and
advice
it all
on
just snowballs.
what you're looking at here, on what I like could potentially do with my cards?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I've just not had the headspace or the bandwidth to sit down and look at Riftwatchers at all.
Yeah,
You know, they're just, yeah.
Well,
I'm going to do it
yeah,
at some point, but I haven't done it yet at all. It's so early.
yeah, it is. Who knows? But I really like Roomance. Well, everyone likes Roomance Kai. That's a clear favorite right there. Your top right, legendary blue. That is a clear, or that's an awesome card.
I think I saw him the other day. They were both summoned by Kitty, and they went head to head, and they got up to 253 health each.
Yeah. No,
Got to like level
253.
150. Yeah, it was like 200, like a level 150 or something, and they were taking 100 plus fatigue damage every round, but they were also healing for an obscene amount. It was just ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah, it was.
It's $20 a BCX for that one.
Yeah, and what's it? It's legendary. So 11.
160 BCX for gold foil.
Shit.
Good payday if you pull one, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. At
But
the
then there's a
moment,
dilemma
yeah.
of like, if you pull one, then you're gonna have to buy a couple, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, for level one, like you got wings,
Exactly.
siphon. Yeah, like that's a pretty meaty level one card. If you've got the
Yeah.
mana. Yeah.
Yeah, and if it's max level, then you're, was it? Hang on,
Fury.
is it?
It's doing
Is
8 damage
it's water
against Taunt.
It's water though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh yes. Okay, yeah, I was trying to. Yeah, I'm just thinking if you summon it with Alric, then max level you're doing 5 magic damage. You're increasing your max health by 3 per round. If you can keep that going,
And you're siphoning.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're life leeching and you sit him in the back there with the triage in case he takes any damage, just so you're picking that back up again. But yeah, that's some good. That's juicy. You could almost put him as second to last, and by the time their
Exactly.
sneaks are attacking him, he's built up enough health that triage is keeping him alive, like basically a wave brood, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Wave
second
brood,
from
but for
last
sneak
is always
attack.
good in case you come up against some hard hitting sneaks. So yeah.
Yeah, let him
And
build
because
some health.
yeah, and they'll hit the shields first because mostly sneaks are all melee.
Melee. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to factor
the
that
goblin
in.
sorcerer.
Yeah. Besides that,
But most of them are.
Yeah. Majority snakes are melee.
yeah.
So most snipes are ranged. There's a nice death one, really low mana, which has got snipe. So 2 or 3 mana or something.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I use my dwarven wizard because he's magic snipe and not expected. A lot of the times they don't expect a magic snipe. And stun is so often helpful. I'll throw him in on a knockout rule set. I'll throw in dwarven wizard and then other snipes, and so they're all prepared for the tank to get hit with stun and knocked out and all that. They might have the guy at the front who's got immunity so he can't get stunned. But the second card or the third, wherever the snipe target is, they're not expecting that. The snipe will get in there and stun him, and then the other snipes will just absolutely pulverize him.
Yeah.
Good times.
Magi Necrosi on his 6. So there's a couple of magic snipes then.
Yeah,
And,
a few around.
Yeah. So what's some nice goodies you got in your Riftwatchers, Gio? You want to bring it up? We'll have a gander.
Sure, I could do that. Why not? Let me have a look right here. I think this is the screen. Wait, where is it again? Is it in this account? Yeah. Wait, no, that's Chaos Legion. So this is pretty much all I got, and I have a few cards that are delegated to the alt.
For rental.
But yeah, this is what. Yeah, so this is basically what I got. Didn't get any legendaries right here, so
Where's your gold
there's-
foil, Spitzer?
that is on this account. So yeah, these are the other cards that I got. So I would like to get to Mac up, and well, obviously it's just for maybe I won't get in gold, but
Can
we'll
you
see.
bring up Arcane Thug?
Yep.
Go to stats.
It's
I haven't
actually
seen
pretty
that one.
juicy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reach, trample, and knockout.
Not bad. So if you were to pair it with Dragon, you can get two, like what? In Dragon and Death, you can get like a few stuns in.
And put him behind the ghoul with that's taunting everyone. Put him in. I've been using lately, not just recently because I'm in silver at the moment, so I've lost my abilities, but when I'm in gold, Cursed Windiku, front position, Thorns, Spineback Wolf, second position, Thorns, and that new, the Riftwatchers magic one with Amplify, which has got some decent stats.
Oh, the summoner.
No,
The summoner with amplify, or
no, it's a magic user. This guy, the Kabbalist.
Ah. Yes.
okay.
So even
Not
at level
bad.
1, 5, it's hitting for 2. He's amplifying the thorns on your Windiku and your Spineback Wolf.
True.
Nice, and they're not taking much melee damage because he's demoralizing. So they're, their melee are hitting your guys and taking extra thorn damage, but doing less melee damage. That's good.
Yeah, and gets Giant
That's a big
Killer
win.
at level 3.
Yeah, it's not too bad, that.
And again, maxed out, Matt, 4.
Yeah, he's doing plenty of damage.
Yeah,
I mean, seven mana isn't cheap in the scheme of things, but you're getting a lot for it, aren't you?
yeah, you are. Yeah, but I don't actually, this is my first Amplify card. So I've been like looking up, because I've never really sort of like put teams together where I've had an advantage with a card that gives an overall boost to more than one card, other than like, silence and stuff like that. So yeah, just been playing with that, amplifying my thorns.
Dude, Amplify, yeah, it's pretty amazing. I use the level, yeah. No, go on.
No, go.
Oh no, I'm just saying the one in from Chaos Legion is the level 2 ranged guy, and he has Amplify. And before Riftwatchers in Modern, I don't know about Untamed, but he was the only one that I could use from Death. What's his face?
There's a Chaos Legion ranged with Amplify.
Yeah, there is. From
Bring him up.
Death, he's 2 mana. Yeah, I'll bring him up in a second. Here we go. He's called Weirding Warrior. And yeah, I'll bring it up right now for you. Just quickly share screen.
Amplify doesn't stack, does it?
I don't think so, no.
No, it doesn't. I think it's this one. No, where is it? This one. See, yeah. This one.
Yeah.
Weirding Warrior. So yeah, I'd use him, but now like with for higher mana, that Kabbalist.
Yeah, generally, when I'm picking
Pretty
my
good.
teams, like I look at the health for sustainability, because like death is my go-to
Mm.
usually as well for obnoxious fumes or earthquake. So
Yeah.
like, 2 health, he's gone at end of the first
Oh
round.
yeah,
You know, so
opportunity. Yeah, for sure. If they have an opportunity, he often gets. Yeah,
no, but I
he
mean
gets
with
wiped out real
earthquake
quick.
or noxious gas, he's
Oh yeah,
gone
that
end of
too.
the first round. So
Yeah, but I
yeah,
wouldn't really use him anyway in that rule set.
yeah. But I generally
I've noticed
avoid
with
low life cards when I'm picking my team. Where
I've noticed with Wrath, the new life summoner they got airdropped
Mm.
to Chaos Legion. He has Amplify, so that's been my first introduction to Amplify, and I really like it because I was already using the Crystal guys quite a lot, Werewolf and Jaguar. So Jaguar retaliates and has thorns, and Werewolf does silence and
Mm.
has thorns. And so I was never really able to use Werewolf too effectively because, yeah, he has armor, but magic damage that I'm trying to minimize is still going to knock him off. But now I'm like, well, this is great because
Absolutely.
Crystal Werewolf does silence, and now the magic attacks can't get through and even hurt him through his armor. And his thorns are great because of melee. So I literally like got into Wrath a lot because I like the Void armor because I'm like, this is
Yeah.
great. Repair is as good as heal now, right? I can just repair. In fact, repair is probably better than heal because it heals. It repairs
Yeah.
whichever armor's damaged. It's not just if it's the guy at the front or if it's somebody in the
Mhm.
back row, like heal or triage. It's whoever's damaged gets.
as
Gets
long
the
as you
repair,
don't get
right?
Alricked.
Well, yeah, but I mean, with Wrath, right? It doesn't
It
matter
hits
whether
the
they've
armor
got magic.
first because he's
Oh
got
Every
void
yes,
sword's
armor
going to
for
hit armor,
yes.
yeah,
everyone.
because he gives everyone
Yeah.
void armor, and he gives them one armor, right?
Like
So he
permanent
gives
weak
them the
magic
armor.
rule set. You've got it
Yeah,
for your
and
whole
so
team. Yeah.
if you stack a few repairs, you're giving yourself a lot of chances.
Protection.
But what I've found too is that he's great with Enchanted Defender because I'll put Enchanted Defender up the back because he only has 1 life. He attracts the sneaks obviously because he's at the back, but also the opportunists, and they're copping unless they've got poison, which obviously you've got to roll the dice, but they're taking 3 damage every time they hit him. And he's only cost me 4 mana to put up there, and he'll do a lot of damage to them before they bump him off. You put a Crystal Werewolf behind him, who's really just there for the silence, and then he's doing extra thorns damage. So I've been impressed. Really, I've looked back at a few matches and thought, gee, I got Wrath in for the armor and the void armor, but he really won it based on the amplifier. That those times when it was going to do 2 damage, 2 thorns damage, it does 3. It makes a massive difference.
And of course, if you've got
Absolutely.
Adelaide as well, repairing the shields.
Yep, Adelaide,
yeah.
Armorsmith. There's quite a few repair guys. There's the Lone Boatman has repair at max level.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing a multi-snipe team, I'll try and throw in some of the other repairers as well. But Lone Boatman, the amount of times he has hit the front position, and they're only hitting, they might have somebody's real heavy hitter, and all he does is sit there and repairs his own armor over and over again. And it's not much armor, but you get some big stampeding, rampaging, whatever. But he's only hitting once. He can hit for however much damage. If he doesn't have pierce, he just takes
Yeah.
off 1 or 2 armor, and then Lone Boatman just heals himself up again on his turn. Doesn't need to attack from there. Just being, he's like a roadblock, So yeah, a lot of fun times there. But Wrath has really given me an
He's got a lot
appetite
of
for Amplify.
Right.
He's got a lot of good use cases. Even back to basics, dominates in back to basics.
Actually,
Dominate.
Sinistry jumped in on the comments. I don't know if you saw it or not in the last video, where we're talking about Jacek, because none of us were really fans of Scattershot. And he put in the comments, back to basics for Jacek. Because that's the real time your multi-buff summoners really come in, is back to basics.
Yeah. Only problem is if his Jacek's going up against Wrath, then Wrath is protecting everyone with the armor, right? So you still got to hit everybody at least that twice to get through the armor. So
Yeah.
Wrath is brutal because whether they're coming out with magic or ranged or whatever, they've still got to hit every card at least once before they can then hit them again. So yeah, Wrath is definitely my go-to for back to basics now as well. So
Yeah.
and there's a lot to like there. In regular gameplay, Uriel, it is so much fun
I
have him killed.
love my Uriel, my gold
And then
foil
he-
Uriel.
At max level, he'll get killed, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm sure they're celebrating. Except he's got he does the retribution, the 1 damage to everybody when he dies, and then he gets resurrected, but he gets resurrected with 9 armor, and he's only got 1 health, but he heals himself, and they've now got to hack through all of his armor, whether they're hitting with magic or whatever. Unless they actually manage to hit him and poison him before he gets a chance to heal, he just heals and heals. And by the time they hack through his armor, they've got to get through
He's
his
full
health.
health.
And if they do manage to do that, and they do kill him, and I've got a second resurrect, and we just do the whole thing all over again, right? And so it's so much fun when that happens.
So 6 of him for gold. 25, 50. So 300 to get him to gold level.
So how much is it? $300 to get Wrath to gold level, is it?
We need 6 cards. I know.
He was 20
Right, the
bucks
other way.
not too long ago.
Yeah. So yeah, 25. So 2 is 50. 150. Sorry, 150 to get him.
Yeah.
To gold.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's not, is it? I've got a
He's
big.
I tell you, he's the gift that keeps on giving. He's revolutionized my gameplay, and now I'm more looking forward to the other summoners, right? But him and Yasik, I'm like, yeah, this is great. Bring on the other 6-mana summoner airdrops because I want them all. I made sure I've got enough card packs to get them all, to get the guaranteed drop of them all. And it's totally rejuvenated my gameplay now. Anything over about sort of 20, 25 mana, I'm all over the new guys. Love it.
Right. Might have to add that to my shopping list. I've got one of those magical months coming up next week where you've got like 3 fortnights. So like, for example, with my rent, I pay my rent monthly. So every fortnight I put aside half for my rent. I've got one of those months where I've got 3 fortnights in my month. So half of my rent is all going into Splinterlands next Wednesday.
Nice.
Gio was
Good
over
time.
on the weekend and we were looking. First up, Liana to 6. And then Obsidian also to 6. So at the moment, Liana's at 4, Obsidian's at 3. And I don't have a Dragon Summoner, so then Quicks to level 6. And I was just gonna start looking at some other cards, but you've really
is
Dragon
Quicks level 3.
Chaos Legion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Quicks would be level 3. Yeah. For gold.
Yep.
For
So,
gold
'cause
rate
he's
level.
legendary.
Yeah.
So yeah, every time I start, I think I've got something set. Like then you come along and like you've really got me FOMOing now on Wraith.
Oh, Wraith, if you have some Thorns stuff, you got stuff with Thorns.
I love Thorns.
Wraith
use it whenever I can.
Because and it, I don't know, that extra. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Wraith, and I kind of feel like him and Yasik, I'm only just scratching the surface of what they're going to become. I really feel like they've got some longevity there with different play styles and different rule sets that might come out, and there's just so much flexibility there.
I don't have any Thorns in life at all. So
that's a problem.
Same. That's why I didn't get Wraith like off the bat, because I didn't have anything that complemented him, right?
Yeah.
But then again, I wasn't really thinking about what the other sets after could.
Because I got my turtle for water, and I've got the wolf for death. But yeah, I don't have any Thorns for life.
Don't have Crystal Jaguar or Werewolf. I use them a lot. Do you have any neutrals with Thorns? Like an Enchanted Defender?
Palicor Conjurer comes to mind with the Magic Reflect.
Yeah, that's at Diamond though, isn't it? Palicor
No, it's a
Conjurer?
gold. Or is it silver level that he gets Magic Reflect? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of Thorns at the moment.
Oh yeah, my bad. But I'm just saying, with like Amplify on Wrath, what you can use as well as having monsters.
Palicor Conjurer gets Magic Reflect at level 4. That is handy because with Wrath, they can hit the armor, and then a
Yeah.
repair can repair the armor, but it still reflects the magic
Oh.
back. So
Yes.
I'm just looking at
Yeah, that's a
white cards with thorns, but
Yeah.
I constantly use I love anything crystal, Jaguar and Werewolf. I use them all the time. Crystal Jaguar gets thorns at level 4. He's untamed, so level 4s. It's at 30 cards, and they're
No crystals at all.
about
Crystal Werewolf. There we go.
60 cents.
Crystal
Yeah,
Werewolf.
Crystal Werewolf.
I've got him at 2 BCX. Thorns at 5, so I need 21. So I need 19.
See, is an older reward card.
Oh, I need 19. And I can get 13 for
Yeah.
$10. And, that's
It's gonna
that's
get you
really
most of the way
doable.
there.
That's
But,
really doable.
Silence and thorns is such a potent combination because it doesn't matter if they're going magic, right?
Yeah.
You're minimizing their magic. If they're going melee, you're returning the favor, right? You're hitting them back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where does he get armor though? Because you want to make sure he's got his own armor. I mean, if you're talking about Wrath, you want to complement it. But yeah, so he doesn't have any armor there. He won't
No.
have
But
any of
Wrath
his
will
own
give
armor.
him armor.
Wrath gives him 1 armor, which is enough to repair it between rounds if you've got a repair guy. But yeah, big fan of Crystal Werewolf and Jaguar because Jaguar retaliates, which can do a lot of damage up front.
Yeah,
Especially if he
it's a real
retaliates,
solid
then they
play.
re-retaliate, and they can take 2 lots of thorns damage every round. So the Jaguar, if you play it right, if you get lucky with retaliate, and they then retaliate, then when you get in those big fights, you can win those or at least do a lot of damage to the other guy because every time he hits you, whether it's retaliating or his own initiated it, then he's taken that 3 thorns damage. So and for 4. And Crystal Werewolf's only 3, so for 4 damage or 4 or 3 mana to bring those guys in, I'm just going to decorate my Wrath teams with them. It's going to be a good spot where I think their melee guys are going to hit, and I'll just load up a couple of those guys. And it's amazing how they'll strip off armor, they'll do some damage to opportunists, they'll really they very often turn the tide. So yeah, big fan of Thorns with Wrath.
Yeah. He only gets retaliated at Diamond though.
Yeah, it's a diamond
yeah.
play, that one.
Yeah.
I
don't have one at all.
Yeah. See, I get stuck in gold because I go to play him for his retaliate and it's not there. Same as the Thorns on Serpentine Soldier. It just gets me every time. I'm like,
He's only 62 cents a BCX.
Yeah, not too expensive. I think he's untamed. So that's
Untamed,
pretty
yeah.
good. He's only a common. So if you do want to move on Wrath, then there's some decent, easy, cheap Thorns options.
Yeah.
With that amplify, it can really wreck some stuff.
So I need 30 to get Thorns. Because I don't have one of them at all. There's all these
That
ones
would be
saying, yeah,
so
that's
nice.
doable, that's doable, that's doable. But when I put them all together, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
doable.
$1,200 shopping list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pricey.
So is that it for
Even
Thorns for life? Just those 2 crystals? Or are there
They're
more?
the ones I use, and Enchanted Defenders neutral. Let me have a look and see if there's any other Thorns on life. But I mean, there's other types as well. There's Wrath amplifies all reflected damage. Like what Gio was saying there with Pellicle Conjurer, right? Instead of taking 2 magic damage back, he's now returning 3, or amplifies whatever he takes in. Ranged return as well. I'm not sure who has ranged return in life.
One thing I don't like about this list, like when you select all cards, like the ones you don't have, it's only showing you level 1. So if you're looking for an ability, there's no way to search in here, like for an ability.
Yeah, I'm just having a look in Peak Monsters, and
Okay.
just Googled it, like in the search bar, just put in Thorns and then chose White Life Team, and it's just the 2 we've discussed, the Jaguar and the Werewolf, and then there's the Time Meddler, the new Time Meddler from
That's right.
Riftwatchers. he does thorns as well, so he gets that at oh, that's not till max level. So he's a diamond thorns, and that seems like an afterthought for an 8 card. Yeah, so he's maybe you put him in last perhaps. Yeah, so it's mostly those two, Crystal Werewolf, Crystal Jaguar. But yeah, like Gio said, Wrath has given Pellicor Conjurer a new lease of life because of their amplified magic damage. You stack enough enough repairs on him, and he just reflect, you know, for 2 mana, and all he's doing then is just reflecting back all this magic damage, but amplified.
And he's quick and got flying.
Yeah, half the team's dead. But I'm glad I've stacked. I think I've got. How many of those Pellicor Conjurers do I have? I stacked a heap of them in gold.
One of the best cards, one of the best reward cards for sure for 2 mana.
Yeah, and it was like $15 to max 1 in gold. I was like, yeah, no, this has to happen. Yeah. I've got like, on my rental account, I've got like, I think 20 of them maxed.
Whew.
Just sitting there renting out constantly. And that's, I'll just keep adding to that stack over time.
Yeah. One thing I'd like, it's a little bit annoying with that some of these new cards. Like, what's the Riftwatchers Earth Summoner? Fernheart?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He makes Liana, puts Liana out of business because you're getting her +1, plus he's getting close range. And now Wrath with the +1 shield, this puts Tyrius out of commission.
Yeah.
They're cheaper though, aren't they? Fernheart 4.
3 mana. 3 mana for Liana and for Tyrius, yeah.
Fernheart's, but Fernheart's 4, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Riftwatcher Summoners. So, I mean, that extra 1 mana can make a difference. You could bring in something that for 1 mana that has strengthened, for example, like Horse Girl, Epona. Epona's 1 mana and has strengthened and a few other bits and pieces, Divine Shield and the like. So she can do the +1 to health, although she's not doing the
range.
Like the range, yeah. But yeah, that 1 mana difference can make a big difference. For example, I had a PJ that I put on Wax because I wanted to get number 1 PJ on Wax. And somebody's gonna want to buy it, and then I listed it for 7 or 8 grand or something, and happily nobody bought it at that. And after a while, I started thinking, I really want to take him off and use him. So I left him on there because I wanted to have number 1 for a long time, and then I just thought, he's just sitting there doing nothing. So after about 18 months, I pulled him off only a week or 2 ago, and what I've noticed is Silent Summoners, it's an easy decision every single time. Silent Summoners, PJ, because he's 2 mana. 2 mana, max level, I can enter as well as dragons, and since no summoner's doing any good anyway, why not spend the least mana possible?
Exactly.
And so he's such an easy decision there. And it's amazing how many times I'll have had very similar teams, but because I got 1 more mana to play with, they might have a 3 mana alpha or beta summoner at max level, and so they're bringing in, even if it's Selenia Sky, so they've got dragon and they've got whatever other splinter they like. That 1 extra mana can make a big difference because I'm throwing in a creeping ooze where they're not, right? And half of my cards go before theirs, and so that 1 mana can make a big difference if used properly.
Okay.
Especially in low mana matches, it makes the biggest difference.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the first thing I noticed is like, it's the alpha and beta cards with an extra ability. It's like, is that going to devalue them? But you think that extra mana will sort of hold on to its value? Yeah.
In a way, there's also a benefit in having the extra flexibility too. Like, if it's a higher mana match, like Gio said, you're already running out of slots, right? So that extra 1 mana is not going to make a big difference. But the flexibility of, if I've got 3 mana summoner versus a 4 mana summoner, I might not necessarily prioritize for this rule set. Both of the things might be broken arrows, for example, and then Fernheart. Okay, yeah, he's still giving +1 to health, but it's useless for that the close range. Or I might just want to go for magic this round. Then it's not as suitable. Whereas if you're replacing that extra ability with a single 1 mana card, you can slot in any number of 1 mana cards, right? So you get a lot more modular sort of flexibility there than having necessarily those 2 things combined in 1 card.
I guess too, if you've got an odds or evens rule set and you've got a choice of a 3 or a 4 mana summoner, you're not wasting 1 point.
Mhm.
Which sometimes you have to do with odd or even. You're wasting a
Yep.
point because, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Something I've noticed as time goes by, and this is I found this is a really interesting, I guess, aside, and it's not a mistake or coincidence, but it took me a while to realise. The longer I've been around, I'm playing in Wild, the more different editions of cards that I have, and I don't have an encyclopedic, but I have a lot of cards, and I've found that I'm starting to enjoy seeing restrictive rule sets where there's only a couple of splinters, and it might be even Stevens, and it might also be no magic or no melee or something like that, because that is really limiting the number of potential cards you're going to come up against. But it really rewards those who have a deep collection. So I can still pursue like I was looking at it the other day, I can still go multi-sneak, even if it's a really tightly limited rule set and splinter list, because I've got those niche, I've got a Shinlo and I've got a Dragonling Bowman and I've got that Goblin Sorcerer, and I can actually field a multi-sneak team despite really restrictive rule sets. And if I'm going up against a guy who's just got Chaos Legion and Untamed, he can't do it, right?
Huge
So I'm finding
advantage.
the more restrictive the rule sets, the better I'm tending to do. And it's just because I've got more of those. Whereas if it's a free-for-all and it's like any card can be used and any splinters available, and the rule sets say, it's everyone blasts or whatever, I don't have that advantage. But as time goes by, that's going to get more and more pronounced. And I think it's important for guys who are saying, I'm just going to buy the latest of each set and then just rent out the older cards. Might be worth them thinking, well, maybe I'm just going to keep that deep collection so it's there when I reach for it. And those more restrictive rule sets and matches I can do better in. So yeah, good fun.
Absolutely.
That's a decent sideline. Just the other side of the coin there. I've never even like considered, but yeah, if you were just wanting to play modern, that's every time there's a new deck of cards, that's a whole like wad of cards going over into your rental, producing income. If you were just playing in modern, yeah, I still can't play modern though. I had another look because I've only got like if I when I play in modern and it comes up the summoners, they're all starter cards. I've got like two summoners that I can use in modern. So I'm going to be in Wild for a while, I think. Yeah. But getting Obsidian to 6, that'd help. But in Earth, I've only got Tyrius. Life, sorry. In Life, I've only got Tyrius. So General Sloan comes up as a starter card. So yeah, I still can't play in modern at this point. Yeah.
I haven't even tried. I'm too comfortable in Wild. I know where everything is. I hate reaching for something and it's not there. So
the weird thing is, even though I have Chaos Legion and I was the one ramping on about this modern format, I myself with I play Wild now.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't though.
I do. I reckon I do better.
He keeps with me every time I come across him.
I do better in Wild despite not having the cards for Wild. I do better than that in Modern.
Why do you think that is?
I do not know. I don't know.
Matt, what do you think?
I don't know.
It's just habit, right? And I think it's about you've been around long enough that you know what you want, right? And you're feeling like you've got more holes than team.
Hmm.
And I think too the guys who are in modern are very much geared towards modern, right? They're all about it. They like knowing that you don't have those other cards. Whereas you're not just used to having those cards yourself. You're used to your opponents having those cards. So it's changing the meta in so many different ways.
I think you're right about that. Like I think my weakness actually in Modern is not really having much Untamed. Because people get the heads, they get the Crowlers, they got pick and choose, right? Pick and choose like the awesome set.
Yeah, Untamed was a pretty wicked deck. Spew and I missed out on that. I've only got I don't know where I was at the time, whether I just came in towards the end of it or whether I left shortly after. But I missed out. I've only got a handful of untamed cards. Really not too sure why.
Yeah. Well, when Rebellion comes out, then Untamed will fall off the roster for Modern, so that might be an opportunity to then dive back in. But of course, if you want to do that, maybe you should be in there practicing right now.
Yeah, right.
There's
But
my
that's the thing,
Untamed.
right?
I must have just
look at that.
bought. I obviously didn't buy any packs.
No, you might have bought one pack, but if you bought two,
Yeah,
you'd
maybe.
have probably
Yeah, I definitely bought him because he was a must. Luminous Eagle there. Like, that's totally a must. Anything Mantoid, he's dope, but he's so expensive. What's he doing nowadays? Oh, he's come down heaps.
I use him constantly, all the time.
I looked at leveling him and I can't remember, but it was ridiculous at the time. He has come down heaps.
He
I'll
looks
use
like
him
a cool card.
in a multi-snipe team. I'll put him in with Lone Boatman and Sheriff for like a triple range snipe deal with either Selenia Sky or Wrath to armor them up a bit. But yeah, beautiful.
Wow, he's pretty quick at level 5 too. 10. 5 speed.
Yeah,
that's
even
pretty
at 9,
quick.
5 speed at 9.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Also good in Earthquake with Snare. Anytime I see Snare, I'm like, yeah, I want you in Earthquake. One of my favorite strategies is to spray Snare everywhere. So like, say Earth, I'll get Mythica Headhunter. She goes Snare forward. Nantoid will go Snare for their snipe target, and the Sandworm will snare their last card. I think we found an opportunist sniper, an opportunist with Snare as well. Was that Dragon Jumper? Anyway,
could be actually.
Yeah, if you can do that, and really in the first round just strip flying off half their cards, then the Earthquake does the rest of the damage for you.
Yeah,
What's that
and I play my ult.
Gives wings to everyone.
It's a dragon one.
Bright and Bloom, I think.
Yeah. Snare works.
I
in
always
that
get
case
wrecked by that.
when it's a summoner giving him wings.
Yeah, it's still Snare still strips it off him.
In hindsight, the summoner that gives you wings, why didn't they call it Red Bull? Why didn't they have a Red Bull card?
Missed a sponsorship opportunity, you reckon?
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, it's Bright and Bloom. Poor mana. I noticed too, I afflicted somebody just today and Kitty couldn't heal them, which just hasn't come up before, but I was never quite sure when we were talking about, nullifying summoner abilities. I afflicted them and they couldn't
heal.
Kitty couldn't heal. So
that's really good.
Without a cleanse on the team. And that helped me a lot too, because that was a big part of their strategy. Speaking of afflict too, had a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with Dr. Blight at the tail end of Yassic teams, because he just sprinkles poison and affliction all over the place. And if their plan was to have any sort of longevity, that just goes away, right? I've noticed that Waka Flocka Flame has also been getting a bit of a workout from people. Just because it's, they're using, I'm going to use a snipe and a sneak and an opportunity and see if I can spread the poison around. But Dr. Blight seems a bit more random because, might poison, might afflict, but generally you're getting a benefit no matter who he hits. So yeah, big fan of that. Good fun.
Blight's amazing.
Do you have a Blight, Gio?
Nah, no Blight for me. I do want one, but I don't think I'll be getting him. But hey, I make do. I'm not like saddened by it. I still do alright with what I got. And I guess that's that's what that's where we all have to look at, is what we have and making the best from what we have. And I'm not expecting more or less,
Yeah.
This is the level I deserve.
And you know, you a little bit of modesty there, man. When you say you do all right, you do really well with what
Yeah,
you
you
got.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
So, how about we kick
Battle.
each other's asses? Yeah.
Anyone want to
Alright.
send me a? I got to redeem myself after that debacle last time with Mr. Rogers. First 2 attacks are me, and I missed them both. That blind was just insane.
Actually, I'm pretty
Anyway.
sure that my account is flagged somewhere because like RNG for misses. Like I could have speed 4 and I'm missing speed once. Like I am cursed with RNG when it comes to speed for some reason. Yeah.
Well, I found my matches have, you know, one of 2 outcomes. Either I am brilliant, I am the best at this game, or that bastard just got
Yeah.
lucky. They're the 2 things that
Yeah.
they're the 2 potential outcomes.
Yeah. They cheated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cheated. All right.
Oh,
So
I get whipped. I'll send Matt an invite.
okay.
Let's do it.
How's that? Because he's really itching for a battle.
I am. I gotta get back on the leaderboard.
I can
Scoreboard.
tell.
Forget the leaderboard. I just need to get on the scoreboard. Okay. It's an interesting. I'm going to assume that challenge is from you, Gio. I've not seen
Yes,
that.
it is.
Aegis of Glory.
Yeah.
You looking after the place?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Fresh coat of
Yeah,
paint?
I like. Yes, it's awesome. It's really good.
Yeah, we got
Here we go.
3K merits in the last or the brawl
Nice.
before last. It was like,
That's all right.
yeah,
Well, you're
I've
doing
never
good things
seen
with the
anything
place
like
there.
that from a brawl before.
I think we got about 2,600, so we didn't do as well as you guys. You're probably paying attention though.
I had to miss the last one though. I was in the naughty boy list for the bottom 4. Like what you have to, if you're in the bottom 4 for the next brawl, you've got to wait till the last 10 hours before you can grab a fray. But they all go like before then. But I'm in this one. I'm in this one doing A and B again.
We have too many long-termers that are just sort of hanging about and not actually. They're sort of sitting on the seat as a long-term investment, but they're not actually
Playing.
Doing anything.
Yeah.
But you have enough to fill the phrase?
Well, no, we have enough members, but often we'll have a fray or 2 that goes unfilled, which is not ideal.
Yeah, no, ours go
Just
like
means you have to.
yeah, even if you have to wait that last 10 hours, they're gone like long before the last 10 hours. So
And it's gone.
it's gone.
Anyway, look, this is the best I could come up with, so see how we go.
All
I
right.
will share screen.
So what do we have? 29 mana, but it was Little League, so I don't think we could have spent it anyway.
Yeah. Where am I? All right.
And it's
Wait.
Little League and Obnoxious Fumes.
Yeah.
All right. Now I can start sharing.
Oh, you got your aspect ratio right?
Yes. How's that? Oh no, it's not right, is it?
No,
Now it's right.
no, one more. And rule set.
Mhm.
You always forget rule set.
Open in
I
speech tools. Somebody's got
remember.
an extension.
I haven't used it in ages. I tried it. No, I tried it out once, and it was very helpful in the beginning. But then all the changes happened, and I just stopped.
Yeah.
I
So you
stopped paying
didn't
for it.
inhale, right? But I didn't inhale. No, that's fine.
Exactly.
Just
What's-
try and enjoy your victories.
What's
anyway.
your tank, man?
My tank is Biceratops. So he's thorns and a bit of armor. He's just essentially there to be a bit of a thorn in the side, and to take some heat. Well, hopefully the Zenith Monk behind him heals himself up from the noxious fumes. So I'm thinking like happily with the Stitch, is that nasty little fella there in second position. If the Biceratops can do thorns damage to both of those 2 front cards, and then have the noxious fumes come through and do a bit more damage, I'm thinking that's not bad for a 4 mana card straight off the bat. He's got enough health there that he should
Yeah.
survive the
Well,
first round.
I think you got
Until
this
the-
personally. You got all the scavenge in the world.
Yeah, and
And-
that's my
yeah.
go-to for Noxious Fumes, right? Because everyone else just died. Like the death count, the head count on Noxious Fumes is insane. So it really doesn't matter which of my cards die. If they all have scavenge, anytime anyone dies, everyone else gets stronger. So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm hoping I'm all right. You've got your Riftwing there, who's definitely a solid contender, especially if I can't hit him. If I can't hit
I
him,
just think,
It
if
drop,
I'm
just
not
feel
drop
like I'm
down
fast
to
gonna
double
die.
speed, yeah.
yes. Anyway, look, I'm gonna play it because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I know how this is gonna
Yeah.
turn out.
Yeah, there's just
I'm
way too much
confident.
scavenge on Matt's team. Yeah.
If RNG stops me from hitting you and I take some damage from Riftwing from that splashback, clapback, I can't remember what it's called, then yeah, that's going to be problematic.
Yeah, deadly.
Okay, so there we go. Scavenge, but scavenge. So that's 4. I've added 4 health to my team every time somebody dies.
Yeah.
You've got some there, some immunity, which is great. But again, somebody died, 4 more health to my team.
Yeah,
I'm not even worried
it's not gonna be
about
enough.
my Zenith Monk dying, because when he does, he's going to heal up the rest of the team. So, and if you've got, if you have a healer, it doesn't matter too much, because my Dr. Blight's going to do the affliction.
Poison.
So you would
The
need to have
affliction,
a
that's right.
cleanse.
There we
There's
go.
the afflict. And so your Riftwing's got a lot there. I would have to miss him a lot of times though for that to really
To
matter.
work out even. Yeah.
Can't see. I think
No,
there's
it's
enough
real solid,
die.
man. Real solid.
Multi-scavengers, but this is about having the depth of team, right? So these guys are from so many different editions. You know, parasitic growth,
True.
the vulture, is it Lyra? So there's so
Isa?
many different
So you have
editions. But
2
yeah,
from
Isa,
Chaos
Isa,
Legion,
yeah.
Untamed.
He was a rewards card from a while ago, and so that's about that depth, right? And I'm really enjoying multi-scavenger, especially in Little League and especially in Noxious Fume. So that was a no-brainer for me.
That was solid, man. Real
Few
solid.
people could team like 4 scavengers. Like,
Yeah,
there's very few people could
Yeah,
do that. Yeah.
that was awesome. Well done.
thanks, mate.
Right.
Mr. Rogers, I hope you're watching that, mate. Wasn't beating you, but still, I'll take it.
It's the next thing.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll send you a challenge then, Matt.
Oh, it's me again. Oh.
No,
No, I don't get a break. I don't get a break from winning.
no, we've got to wear you down.
Oh man, the amount of battles I do.
And it'll be gold, of course.
Oh, where are we? There it is, Boba Fett. Okay, so we have a accept. Yeah, I love multi-scavenge. It's so good. I'm not even disappointed when one of my cards dies.
No,
'Cause I
it
know
just
it's everyone
refills the
else.
others.
Yeah.
So we've got blast.
So we've got
yeah. Blast,
Blast and
trample.
Stampede.
I stand
Yeah, Blast and Stampede, which is endless trample. 58 mana, and we only have blue, green, and purple or death. So water, earth, and death are our teams. But yeah, 58 mana, that's a high mana cap. All right, let's have some fun with it.
Yeah, that's a real good rule set. It seems interesting.
58
double
mana.
check
Like,
everything.
I don't know what to do. I've only got like
double
12
check
or
stuff.
13 mana.
Does it still have trample? Does it still have, like I'm looking at the Oaken Behemoth that I would normally use, but he doesn't have trample at gold level.
I guess this puts a bit of pressure in, on you as well, right? Since you're not playing at diamond level. So
That's
it's
true.
A little bit. You got to change it up a bit.
Yep.
But I think that's a fair sort of trade-off.
And put you in there. All right, I'm happy with that, I think. ish. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. All right. I've submitted. My team only had 56 of 58, but I'm comfortable with it. The higher up the mana, the more mana of the match is, the less it matters that you use every last one.
Yeah.
How are we looking, Bob?
Yeah, just bringing it up to the correct screen. And
Geo Wacko Jacko's just sent me a message pointing out that he's top of the gold leaderboard.
who's Wacko
Wow.
Jacko?
He's Adelaide
One of
boy.
the,
So
yeah.
then Hell Slash, ULA Ocean, the Killing Queen. Yes, it's like a State of Origin thing, really, isn't it? SA versus
All very
Vic.
familiar. All very
Notice I want to
familiar
talk
names
about
on
it
the
now that Adelaide guy's on top of the leaderboard. I want to talk about it.
top. Nah, look, he fucking solid as, man. Like,
Look at this guy.
clearly a
Jesus.
strong player.
Never seen him before.
Spirit Druid Grug.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. So bit of life. He's quite vulnerable because he doesn't have a lot of health. But I know the llama sort of adds too. But the life leech is good because he gets stronger over time. But also the slow and the resurrect. It's amazing how often that does some changes the tide of battle. So he's a legendary. I think he was untamed. 5 mana legendary. But yeah, slow is always good.
Yeah.
Most of the other
Who-
speed altering cards tend to be lower mana, which is a waste in these higher mana matches. So I tend to only use him when I want to slow the opponent down, and also if I think that resurrect is going to be a helpful thing. So,
Who are you hoping to last stand with there?
well,
I don't
that's-
think it'd get
yeah,
to that.
I think last stand with blast is just too hard to predict, right? So whatever you're going to do, blast is going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I would hope it was one of my first 3 cards that would get to last stand, but rather than Slipspawn's going to die first, you would assume, and
You'd
Miscast
hope
don't
so.
take out the life in front. So what would be funny though is if Spirit Druid Grog got there, because if the game goes on for a while, his health can actually get quite brutal, right? So he's just adding max health constantly.
But he's not
and
going to
if-
get a
if he's-
shot.
Sorry?
If he's the last one standing, he's not going to get a shot.
No, well, that's the thing. So it depends how much damage is done to your team, I suppose.
Yeah.
But,
I
I
think
guess-
Prism.
I need to
I-
change things up with the Goblin Mech. 'Cause you got the double hit there, like to
Yep.
get through my shields. So
I think Matt has it.
I think
I'm
while
scared
you're
of the
hacking
Prism
into while you're
guy.
hacking into my slip spawn, I think you're gonna take too long getting through my slip spawn to really. Is that Narissa? Is she doing 4 or 5?
4,
4.
4.
yeah,
Okay.
3 plus
I
1.
kind of want it to be 5, so it's hitting the slip spawn's force field and only doing 1 damage. Yeah, but that's so. I think you're gonna hurt me, but I think I'll probably end up taking it out. The sandworm might make all the difference, to be honest.
Yeah,
You don't have any taunt, and if I'm going to take out Riv or Helendale before he has a chance to resurrect anybody,
Yeah. and I've got no shield repair, so
yeah.
For me, it's prismatic energy. Once you take out the taunt, and then when you start blasting into that with all your magic, it's
And
just going to be
reflecting
reflected back at you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's deadly, man.
Yeah, and remember, it's endless trample, right? It's endless stampede, and Grund has trample,
Shit.
so he's just as long as he's killing somebody, he's just going to keep going. Right?
Hey.
Double strike
No.
and trample, so it's pretty brutal.
Oh no.
I had a Grund, just Grund and Llama cleaned up an entire six card team on an endless trample the other day because he hits twice, and took off the
Yeah.
armor and then killed the guy. It wasn't even a blast rule set.
Oh, geez, that hurt.
That just hits heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to win this one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is a real intellectual exercise when it's gold, because you're like, what am I missing? What am I? Normally I'd bring
No,
in
I
a
think
local
you're doing.
behemoth there.
You didn't even get down to last stand.
No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And sometimes that's true. Like the higher mana the match is, the more I think last stand's probably not going to be a factor.
Yeah.
I tend to just factor it in lower mana matches. If you're beyond, say, a 30 mana match, I don't even think about last stand, because the odds of it being the decider that decides whether I win or not is so
Yeah.
slim. If I've got
Yeah.
down to my last card, I'm probably screwed.
So why did you
Unless it's a
play?
specific strategy.
Why did you play? Actually, here's something, ever on the town hall when Agro's having a go at Chatter for pronunciation of llama, right? He says he says lama
Llama.
and llama, and
Llama.
I'm surprised that Nate hasn't said anything, because they're all wrong. Because llama from South America, yeah, double L in Spanish is Y. So it's actually a llama.
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 I thought that was the little hat the Jewish guys wear. Maybe it's made of llama fur. That's why they call it a yarmulke. That's the.
But yeah, double L in Spanish is pronounced with a Y. So they're all wrong, and it's a llama.
And it's 1 L.
Sorry,
One
I
L
used
is
llama.
It's 1 L.
One L
Okay.
is L. 2 L's is a Y. Llama. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Los
Yeah, I used
pollos.
him there for the +2 to health. And also because it's a 58 mana match, right? So a summoner that's got more abilities is not that, like, if it was a 15 mana match, then sinking all that mana into a summoner probably would have been an iffy choice. But when it's a 58 mana match, you're just going to go the higher levels almost by reflex, right? So
Okay.
had you done some affliction or something like that, I could have cleansed. Had you stunned my first card, Grund, you would have been cleansed by the llama. Last stand probably not going to come into it, but the +2 to life is going to be, a big help, particularly if my Spirit Druid Grog met some Magic Reflect or an Opportunist. That extra +2 life might keep him alive long enough, and I really want him alive so that if one of my cards dies, I don't want him being the first card to die, right? Because he's got the Resurrect, so I want him to at least be second. So I want to give him a bit more longevity, which is why I said at the start that Llama gives +2 to Spirit Druid Grog as well. So that was my reasoning, my rationale there. My only other summoner is Lana Natura for 3 mana +1 health. And unless I had some really great line, like if I had a really great lineup that took 55 mana all ready to go, then I would have used Lana Natura instead. But it's just the easier thing when it's nice and high to just use the high mana summoner.
Absolutely. The legendary summoner all the way.
Yep.
So has Grund taken the place of Flesh Golem?
Well, Flesh Golem was never like my smash 'em up tank. Flesh Golem, except in like a 13 mana match, then Llama Golem is a no-brainer. But I've tended to not want him in the real line of fire, because unless I'm confident that they're going to go magic heavy and I've got a bit of silence, then I can do that. But silence I usually get from the Mushroom Seer. He's great. So silence, bit of poison, bit of longevity there for the Flesh Golem. But I generally try to avoid to keep him out of that direct line of fire early on in the match. I want to use him as a second tank, or maybe up the end. If I think there's going to be a bit of sneak going on, but maybe not too much, then I'll put him up there with Llama backing him so that he arrives last and does his last stand business, but also so he's able to heal up from those occasional sneak hits. But
15 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's say,
we have time.
So on the end, this is the end. We've run out of time. So guys, thanks for joining me again. Thank you for joining us for episode 40. Well, what would we have to call this episode? The midlife crisis? I don't know.
Yes, please.
So look forward to seeing you in episode 41. The usual like, comment, and all that stuff, but we love comments. We love engagement. I do reply to every single comment. Any feedback on the show, if you have a battle you'd like us to analyze, each week, person who writes a comment that generates the most engagement will receive 10% of the post rewards. So thanks for joining us. See you in episode 41. I'm Boba Fett.
Thank you, gents.
Peace out.
Bye.